Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. It's Brittany, your friendly plant-loving internet stranger, back with another video. Today I wanted to do a really quick update on my grow box. Remember when I said this? Hopefully this works well and they can all coexist peacefully without anybody becoming moldy or mushy. Well, I am here to report that everything was fuzzy and everything was moldy. Yes, my grow box experiment was a flop. After about the week mark, I started to notice some fuzz developing and I knew it was downhill from there. And the funny thing is, this is the second time I'm recording this video, and this will also be the second time that I'm creating this grow box, so it seems pretty synchronistic. But I wanted to film this short video because I thought about how I set the box up initially, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made. And I think the biggest mistake I made was introducing bare root plants that still had soil on them into the sphagnum moss, basically into the grow box with the fresh sphagnum moss. So if you didn't know it, soil, including potting soil, contains microorganisms, probably millions of microorganisms. And under the right circumstances, they can be beneficial to plants, and under the wrong circumstances, they can breed mold and fuzz, like what you see in my propagation box. In bad circumstances, for the sake of this video, is an overly humid space and a space that has like no ventilation or very little airflow, which is basically the propagation box I set up. And I'm not a microbiologist, but I did notice after that week mark that the fuzzy mold was starting to develop in all of the places where there was soil present. In hindsight, I would not have put any of the bare root plants that had previously been in soil in this propagation box, and I especially would not have put it in the box without thoroughly cleaning the roots with some diluted peroxide and really wiping down and rinsing off all of the leaves. And I would have only put clippings from healthy plants in this grow box. I don't really think I set these plants up for success when I was setting the box up. I do think the humidity that the box contained was a great environment for tropical plants to grow, but it was also a really great place for mold to develop. So I'm gonna toss everything that's in the grow boxes in the trash. I actually created a few other grow boxes the same day I did the large grow box, and I noticed that in the smaller boxes, there was also mold present in the spots where there was soil present in the plants that I put in those boxes. And there was one propagation box that I created that I did not film initially, but I'll insert some footage of it. And it was a grow box for a succulent, and the succulent had no soil. I actually did pull it from a plant that was potted in soil, but I broke the top part of the plant off so that the bottom portion remained in the soil with the roots intact, and only the top portion, which I had cleaned off pretty good at the bottom. There was no soil, there were no dead leaves, and I stuck that in there. That is the only grow box that is still thriving of the ones that I created all around the same time. So I'm filming this video about 3 weeks after the first grow box was created and the plants were put in there. And after the week mark is when I started to see mold. And I'll insert some additional footage of what the plants are looking like right now. They're totally gone. I don't know that I feel comfortable attempting to salvage any of them. I did initially tell myself that I was going to try to save the Raven ZZ just because it was the only plant in the large grow box that looked like it had not started to turn colors, and there was also no mold present around it. But since it's been in the box with the other moldy plants, I'm a little hesitant, and it just might be a loss, honestly, and I may just throw it out. If I try to rehab it, I will definitely decontaminate it, take it out of the box, wash it off, probably wipe it down with like some diluted peroxide and all of my other concoctions, and put it in its own separate container to still attempt to propagate some of the leaves. And this would just be for the sake of an additional experiment to see if I can propagate ZZ plants this way. I've never attempted it, and because it got caught up in the moldy plants, we don't really know if this was a successful or a failed attempt of propagating these ZZ plants. So I still want to try that out, but I don't know. I'm kind of apprehensive just because of how creepy the box looks. I'm probably going to take it outside and just dump all of it into the trash and really wash out the container and start over again. I will definitely update you all, and probably, I don't know if I'm going to film a video of me like actually redoing the entire propagation box just because I've already done that, and it's the same concept. It's just not putting any plants that have soil on them in the sphagnum moss box. So I'll probably do that and come back with an update after the new box is constructed to share with you all how things are going and how the plants are progressing. I am so happy that I did not put the Florida green plants that I mentioned in the original propagation box video. I did have one piece of a Florida green plant that I put in there, and that did not have any nodes, so I really wasn't sure if that was going to grow roots or how that was going to develop. But I have my Florida green plant right here in the window. Well, I have the clippings, not the entire large plant. I'll actually be doing a update video on the big plant pretty soon because there's a lot of growth on that one. As you can see, this piece right here has no nodes. It is basically looking very similar to how the grow box Florida green clipping was looking. So I'm just gonna say that I was able to determine that Florida greens are not going to be able to grow successfully or be propagated without any nodes on them. And a few months ago when I did my first Florida green update, I mentioned that I had unintentionally propagated, because this was really just a fallen soldier from the large Florida green. I accidentally broke it and I put it in water, and it did have a node, and it took a while for this plant to develop roots. I had it in my IKEA grow cabinet for a while, and then I ended up just taking it out of there because the leaves were really starting to wilt, and I put it in the window in this glass jar, and now it has roots. And so in the previous propagation box video, I had mentioned that I might put this plant in the propagation box, and I'm so happy that I did not, because I'm glad that it finally has roots. It has a new leaf growing, and I would have been hurt if that plant would have been destroyed in this experiment. So I will probably end up doing something with that plant, maybe putting it in its own terrarium to see if I can really get it to grow out. And I will do it in a way that's like sterile and not introducing any like old soil from any other plants. And whatever I develop for that Florida green clipping it'll be the only plant that I have in that box. So yes, lessons learned so far: do not put any soil in your fresh propagation box. If you are going to do bare root clippings or plants in a propagation box, be sure to thoroughly wash the roots so that there's no soil present, and some diluted water with peroxide to really get them as clean as you possibly can. If you want to put a bare root plant in a propagation box, I will probably just end up doing clippings moving forward to be on the safe side, and clippings from healthy plants. I started with a lot of unhealthy plants. I just kind of wanted to see if I could get them to grow, and it didn't work out. So I don't know that I'll be doing that again. That is my update. I wanted to just do a really quick video to let you all know how things were going. Let me know if you have any advice. Feel free to leave me a comment. I'm definitely open to learning more as I develop my grow boxes. That's my quick update. I really wanted to just film this quickly. I didn't feel like doing my whole setup, so I'm filming on my laptop. So hopefully the video quality is still pretty decent. It looks pretty decent. We'll see what it looks like once I upload it to YouTube. Feel free to leave me a comment if you have any advice or tips for how to properly set up a propagation box that will not breed mold or fuzz. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up for more plant experiments and transparent plant fail videos, and subscribe to this channel for more plant content just like this. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.